flogging can be this amazing healing, spiritual, meditative practice, and extraordinarily beautiful. On the safe side, you know, so this is definitely not going to be about the sensual aspects of flogging, because there's that side to it too, of course. You know, whipping can be a very sensual practice. You can use it in your sensual experiences, and of course I have done that, and it's very enjoyable, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with sex. But sex is not the most important thing in the world, and sensual whipping, whereas it's fun, is not quite as interesting as the flogging that I want to talk about can be. Well, it basically started some 12 years ago now, when I was watching, I was working as a lawyer, and I had a client who was a filmmaker. And so I was invited to the premiere of one of her films. Someone sat down next to me. A young woman wearing heels like that, and she just casually placed her legs over the seat in front of her, and so the first thing I noticed were these heels, and well, she noticed me noticing, and well, when the movie was over, we got to talking. Basically didn't stop talking for another 10 years or so. So she started taking me to parties, and these were, you know, your black leather, dark, loud music events. And again, I was a bit reluctant to go there, even though I liked it. I liked aspects of it, but I always wondered, what am I going to do here? And at some point she said, if you just learn to whip people really well, you know, they'll be standing in line for you and you'll enjoy yourself. So I thought, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And I did. I took up flogging, and well, lo and behold, as I had various scenes like that, I again had that feeling, you know, there's something much more mysterious here. And so over time, I really started looking for what is that? How can you get there? And the first thing really was to slow down, not try to do so much. The second thing basically was to shut up, because I was blathering all the time. I thought I have to, you know, keep the energy going. And the third thing was how to really, how to find a way, and I still find this is very difficult, how to really find a way into my partner, how to really make that connection where you feel that you stop being this person doing something and this other person receiving something, and it becomes more like a whole, like one, well, let's say one energetic presence that is connected, and is also connected to a greater energy, I would say. And I got much more serious about what I was doing. That I thought, well, this, you know, the body is a compass. It shows you the way, but where exactly does it lead you? You know, it speaks its own language, and it's really rather hard sometimes to understand what it's saying. And then at some point, no, people started to come to me. And I remember one day I said to my partner, so this person is coming over to be flogged by me. And she's going to travel like 10 hours just to have an encounter with me. And by that time I figured, well, there's more to this. And I think it is such a great practice. I mean, it's also fun. That I'm going to take this up as a practice, as a professional practice. And since the time, many people have come to me, which is humbling, I must say. At some point, I started practicing. I got interested in energy healing. So I started practicing Reiki. And I started incorporating that, quite literally incorporating that in my flogging practice. And so now I begin a session with, well, like I said, I used to talk a lot. And now instead I just stand there and hold out my hand and feel the this mysterious energy that bodies have, that it really seems the body doesn't end where it ends. There's this energetic presence, and you can tune into that, and then it becomes one thing. And this is where the mystical part shows itself, is that you really seem to conjure up a world of, where magic happens, where something like ghosts and spirits show their presence. You can really use flogging as something to, the body is a portal, and somehow it seems that this kind of flogging is the key, and you step into another dimension where there's more possibilities. What I also think is incredibly interesting is there's a healing aspect to it. I had a client, and as it turned out, she was really rather reluctant to actually show up. And then it turned out she came from a very violent background. She took her place, and she started crying at once. Literally shaking from fear. And so we did not think. I just stood with her for a while. And we just sort of, without words, let this greater knowledge, I guess the innate wisdom of the body, we let that connect. And then slowly we went through the process, and from fear and crying from this traumatic experience, instead she started smiling and really enjoying the thing. And I'm humbled that people choose to have these experiences with me. But, and that, of course, that is the point, they could have these experiences, with, well, and that's why I've begun teaching this. I think these mystical and healing experiences, we can all have them, and probably we can all use them. You know, you could have them with your partner. It's so there is such wisdom available in this practice. And I find that in this meditative flogging, we can use the wisdom of the body. We can sort of tease it out and then turn it into a different kind of experience. And I think that is where the meditative aspect also comes in. So we have this weird magic that we conjure up. We have this healing, this soothing aspect to it, and there is that aspect of time and rhythm that, like I said, when I started out, I was over-eager. Well, I didn't say that, but I'll say it now. I'll admit it. Over-eager. I wanted, you know, results. I thought that, you know, my head was filled up with all these, with that imagery of popular culture, where you know, people get whipped. It's like whip, and they go ah, and you think, oh, okay, so that is apparently what we're doing here. And it took me a while to figure out that that is not what we're doing here. Because really, it's you know, there's no art to hurting anyone. In fact, that's you know, the easiest thing to do. Of course, when I started teaching this stuff and I started talking to people about it, by that time I had completely forgotten how you know, how many years it had actually taken me to understand this. And so when I started talking about it, and people started asking, you know, basically their first question would always be, well, yeah, that sounds very nice, but doesn't it hurt? And it took me a while to figure out that the answer to that is really that it doesn't, basically, because what happens when you go through this process and you take this meditative approach, is that the body can really ease into it. And as the body relaxes, you know, fear dissipates, and there are a lot of sensations that you might classify as pain in different circumstances. But when you take this meditative route, the body and the brain, they start working together. You know, the brain teaches the body teaches the brain, and pain is really not what it's about at all.